Hello, this is Gio, and I just recently installed this new electrical drywall box. Brought in a couple of lines. One of them's hot, one of them's not. I want to connect them. I want to put a receptacle plug in here, so the hot one will just go ahead and redirect the not hot one and keep on powering the line, the series. So I'll show you how to do that next. Now I've already turned off the power, but the first thing you always want to do is double check. So you don't want to electrocute yourself, so I'm just going to take one of the wires. Again, the black is always hot, or should be hot. The white is neutral, and then the center one, the uninsulated one, is the ground. And so you're just going to touch the black and white wires, and if the tip should glow if it has any current. So this one's pretty good, and so we're just going to do the other ones. Double check and verify, yes indeed, the power is off. And the next thing we're going to do is take our wire strippers and strip off probably a half an inch to an inch of the insulation around each of the black and white wires. Now I already sort of made a mistake. Now I originally showed you this receptacle plug. Well, this is one without a ground. I grabbed the wrong plug. I don't want to install one without a ground, especially since I do have a grounding wire. I want to install one with a ground. And so this is the correct one with the ground. It has this third hole. Now if you turn it around, or on the sides, you see several screws. In this case, 2 of them are gold, 2 of them are kind of silvery color. Now if they're different colors, we'll just assume one side is for the blacks and one side is for the white wires. In this case, the gold ones should be for the black wires, the hot wire. The silver one should be for the white wire. And here, this little last one is for the ground wires. Now if you look at the ungrounded plug, it doesn't have the grounding screw. So this will help keep us safer. So we'll go ahead and wire these up. Now, the first thing to do is just to take some pliers and just make a little bit of a curve on the black and white wires. Like that. You could also do it on the grounding wire. And then you take your receptacle plug, and again the black is for, or the gold is for the black wire. And then, so you want to just, again, do not do this if it's hot. If the power is turned on, it's a little dangerous. So we go ahead and wire this down. Now since we're dealing with 2 wires instead of just one, 2 cables instead of just one, we're going to put one black wire here, the other black wire here, and on the other side white and white. Now the one with the same line goes on the top, the other line goes on the bottom. So we'll go ahead and do this one. So I went ahead and wired the whites, the blacks, and also put the ground in. Now I had a little bit of limitation because of the wire. I usually want the wires out farther so I have more working room, but in this case this is all the wire I got, and so it's a little tight. And for the ground, instead of connecting both grounds to this wire, just to save, give myself a little extra room, I just wrap the ground around one wire and then wrap that along the plug, and that works just fine. And so what you want to do next is put it back in the box. But I like to do one more thing before I stick it in, and this not everybody does, but I like to do this for an extra safety measure. And that safety measure is to get a little bit of electrical tape and actually wrap it around all the screws. Now, you don't have to do this. In fact, most electricians do not do this as best I can tell, but it's good practice to do this because this is kind of a tight, because it protects, it covers the screws, and so if any wire touches that, there won't be a short, or there'll be less likely to be a short. So I kind of like to protect that. And if you ever need to do any work on this plug in the future, you just cut the electrical tape and you're off. But I like, that's a little safety measure that I've learned to do. And now let's just put it back in the box. Now when putting a plug back into the box, this could be the trickiest maneuver, because you want to try to get, the wires typically get in the way, and you want to kind of bend them in such a way that you could apply a little bit of pressure and yet and try to get the wires bent so they kind of bent naturally in there, and so you can kind of get the plug in straight. And so this could be a little tricky, and it's a little bit give or take. But don't be afraid to apply a little bit of pressure at least to get those wires at least bent in there. If they're too cramped in there, you don't want that, because that's a bad thing. But you want them at least in there snugly and kind of out of the way from each other. And then you just screw in the plug. So I went ahead and turned on the power, and while it's not smoking, that's the first good sign. The next thing you want to do is grab a tester and make sure that you have your hot, neutral, and ground wires correct. Now this little tester, it has a little color-coded system there. The bottom one is the correct, and these two lights will shine if it's correctly wired. There you go. These two, it's correct. So it's not reversed, it is properly grounded. And so we've done a good job. And so the next step is just to get the faceplate on, and we'll be done. There you go. All I need to do is now paint this wall and we'll be set. And have a good time. See you next time. Bye-bye.